Good evening, sir. My name is Joshika. Today's story is on one eye, two eyes, and three eyes. So, once upon a time, in a far off land, there lived a woman with her three daughters. Two of the daughters, one eye and three eyed, were her favorites. She loved them both dearly and gave them whatever they asked for. The other daughter, however, had just two eyes, and since she looked very much like the normal people, her sisters and mother had a great disdain, contempt for her. She was given their old and worn clothes to wear and was made to eat only their leftovers. They did everything they could to make her very unhappy. But even through all the trouble they gave her, she was still kind and generous to all she met and saw. Hello, little birds, are you hungry? She asks to the birds. I am sorry, this isn't much, but you may eat it. One day, as her sisters and mother finished their lunch, Two Eyes then took her place at the table to eat. You know, One Eye, since Two Eyes is different from us, she must not sit in our table, she says. Three Eyes says, You're right, Two Eyes, you don't belong with us. Go away, do not come here, says the One Eye. Poor Two Eyes was so hurt by their words that she ran out crying. While she cried, suddenly with a flash of light, an old fairy magically appeared and stood in front of her Two Eyes. She wore a cloak and a glistening in sun and carried a staff made of sparkling precious gems. Two Eyes was extremely amazed to see. Why are you weeping, dear little Two Eyes? Says the fairy. Oh, good goat fairy, my mother and sister hate me for having two eyes. They give me only leftovers to eat and treat me very badly. Wipe away your tears, my dear, and I'll tell you something good. The fairy says. Do you see the stick that you carry? Every time you're hungry, chant the spell. That magic stick, hop to my beat, cover the table with something to eat. The stick then started to glow brightly. It flew out of Two Eyes' hand and transformed itself into a lovely little table spread with the most delicious food Two Eyes had ever seen. Oh, how wonderful! It smelled so amazing, the Two Eyes say. And now you won't be hungry, Fairy says. Eat and drink as much as you wish. And when you are done, just say magic stick. Hear me pray and take the table quite away. And then it will vanish again, the fairy says. Saying this, with a wave of her magic staff, the old fairy disappeared. Two Eyes was amazed at all she saw, but she had been starving for far too long and so ate up each and everything from the table. The food was quite delicious, she says, and I'm so very happy, but now I must hide this all away. So she says, Magic stick, hear me pray, and take the table quite away. And amazingly, the table and everything on it had changed itself back into the stick. In the evening, when she returned, there lying on the table was a plate of leftovers kept for her, but she did not touch it and happily walked past it. From then on, Two Eyes would go out every day, eat and drink to her heart's content, and come home happily. But one day, One Eyed and Three Eyes saw her sister wasn't eating what they left out. There is something wrong about Two Eyes, the One Eye says. She doesn't eat what we give for her. She may have discovered other ways of getting food, the Three Eyes says. We must find out the truth, the sisters say. And so the next day, as Two Eyes went out happily to the field, her two sisters quietly followed her. She looked to see that no one was following her, but her sisters made sure she never found out. And when Two Eyes reached there, she chanted out loudly, Magic stick, hop to my beat, cover the table with something to eat. Then And immediately the table magically appeared with all the delicious food. The two sisters were secretly watching, and their eyes widened at everything they saw. And so this is how she eats every day. The three eyes says, no wonder she is never hungry anymore. Quick, let us go home and tell everything to the mother, the one-eyed sister says, and they both go and say to their mother that when their mother heard all the two eyes had done, she was furious. How dare she eat better food than his mother says? Let her come home and then we will take her magic stick away, the mother says. So they waited for Two Eyes to return. And when she returned, her mother grabbed the stick out of Two Eyes' hand and broke it into two pieces. Oh, what did you do, mother? She said. She cried a lot. And this will teach you a lesson when you decide to cheat your sisters and me again, the mother says. Now you will go hungry for good. The Two Eyes was heartbroken. She picked up the broken pieces of stick and ran out. She went in the garden and wept bitterly. Just then the old fairy suddenly appeared before her again. My sweet Two Eyes, what is wrong? Why are you crying, dear child? She asks to the two-eyed girl. Oh, kind fairy, the magic stick which you gave me and would spread the table so delicious food, my mother has broken it into two pieces. Now I must suffer from hunger again. The fairy says, I'll give you a good piece of advice. Take the pieces of the stick and bury it in the garden where the moon shines the brightest. That be sure will bring you good luck. The old fairy once again waved her magic wand and in a flash disappeared from the night. Two Eyes trusted the fairy's words and did as she was told. The next morning, there in the garden stood a most wondrous and wonderful tree. It was made of silver leaves and golden fruits like sunlight. The mother and her daughters stayed at it because this was the most beautiful tree and they never saw it. That the tree is so beautiful, but where has it come from, mother? The three-eyed daughter asks. I don't know. It is indeed a very strange thing, the mother says. Let us go out and pick the fruits, mother says, and the two eyes listen to what they have said, and One Eye, Three Eye, and their mothers were ran out and jumped high to pick the golden fruits. But every time they reached out, the branches bent away from them so that they could not steal a single leaf of that tree. I shall rest, for I am very tired, the three-eyed says. Two-eyed has been watching them, and she now looked at the tree. Let me try too, perhaps I'll be able to pick a fruit, Two-eyed says. Ha, try all you want. If we couldn't do it, how can you do it? The three eyes says. But as Two Eyes reached up to pick at the silver branches, the tree did not bend away from her. If anything, it glittered all the more and bent forward so that Two Eyes may peck as many fruits as she. She tried giving them to her mother and sisters, but seeing that only she was able to pluck the fruit from the tree, they only turned jealous. It happened one evening that when they were all standing, a young knight came riding, and the mother and turned hurriedly towards Two Eyes and said, Go and hide in the bushes, Two Eyes. We do not want you to disgrace us. Poor Two Eyes hurriedly went and hid herself in the bushes. Then the night handsome young man comes and asks that what a marvelous and gold silver. Anyone who will pluck a branch from it will get whatever they want, will fulfill all the wish whatever they want. So the sisters, One Eye and Two Eye, and the mother try for picking, but they wouldn't. Then the knight says that what tree, you can't pick it, how can you say that you are the owner of this tree? And he walks away. Then that night Two Eyes picked that branch, and after keeping that silver leaf on herself. Her dress changes into silver color, which is very nice. And then a leaf falls on the ground, which becomes into an which becomes big, and it can fly. So they go into a knight's balcony, and the leaf turns into a branch of that tree. Then the two eyes girl gives call the knight, and the knight comes. Knight was very amazed by seeing her beauty, and she asked, "What you want?" Then the girl says that you said that whoever will pick the branch from that tree, you will fulfill all the wishes. And the knight asked, "What do you want?" The girl said, "I want to marry you. I want to be your wife." Because, and she says about her mother and sisters, how they behave with her. And then knight says that, "I'll marry you. You can be my wife, but before that, I have to punish your mother and your sisters." Then the Duai girl says that forgive them, they're innocent. Then after that day, Knight marries Duai girl, and they both live happily throughout the life. Thank you.